Hi, and welcome to Sunday with Mike. I have my Wedding Wire t-shirt on because today our show is going to be all one topic covering Wedding Wire World 2017. This was a wedding convention that was held in Washington, D.C. in August of this year, and we'll discuss some of the things that we learned and never knew, and they may help you with your wedding business too. So be sure to grab a pen and paper because today's show will be fast-paced, and I promise I'm going to be throwing out a lot of numbers that you'll want to write down. So grab a cup of coffee and join me. I'll be right back. For those of you that are new to weddings, the Knot has always been ranked number 1, while Wedding Wire is number 2. They're both huge players in the marketplace. Wedding Wire hosts a convention all around the United States, and they call their conventions Wedding Wire World. This particular convention that we went to was hosted in Washington, D.C., but anybody can attend these that are in the wedding business. All it takes is to pay your fee to cover the convention cost, and then of course your travel and hotel stay would be on top of that. I highly recommend attending national conventions, regardless of what kind of convention it might be, as long as it relates to your type of business. Wedding Wire World is a convention for all vendors that serve the wedding industry, and it's a great opportunity to network with other professionals from all over the world and make new friends in the business. So let's get started. The convention was held at the Washington Hilton, located in Washington, D.C., and it was 2 full days of learning, a Monday and a Tuesday. As you can see, they have a huge ballroom, and in fact, many U.S. presidents have actually spoken in this ballroom over the years. So let's get to some of the details that might actually help you. Contact your clients the way that they contacted you. This means that if they emailed you, you email them back because that's how they contacted you. If they text you, then text them back. This little lesson is really important because most of the time your wedding clients are of the texting generation, but they have to follow the rules and they're at work. So if they're at work, they can't have their phones in their hand and they can't text you. So they'll usually use email to contact you if they're planning from work and doing some things that they really shouldn't be doing because they can get away with it. So this is why you want to follow that plan. So however they contacted you, if they called you, call them back. But if they email you, don't switch on them. Don't go to something else without them asking you to. You need to try and understand your customers, study their habits, and you're going to notice that during the week they tend to use emails more, but on the weekends they'll want to text, and that's because they're off work and they can use their phones and back to their native, normal, what they prefer to use. They also expect instant replies from you. I know that's not always easy and possible, but the odds go way up in your favor if you reply before most of your competitors do. So find a way to make quick replies a priority in your world. And while we're on things that aren't going to work anymore, Twitter and blogging are on their way out. YouTube and Instagram are the new places to be. I'll be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
So when you answer an email with a price quote, I want you to give them a price range because that works better than just a starting price. The reason is because when you give a starting price, you're doing what's called selling from the bottom up. Try this on your next price quote the next time you get an inquiry. Our prices range from this to this, with most of our clients spending this amount. I'm going to read that again since I stumbled a little bit. Our price ranges from this to this, with most of our clients spending this, whatever that is. Try that. So you're giving them a top number, a bottom number, and where your average client is in the middle. What's your average ticket? What are you writing up? And that should help them and help you more than just saying our prices start at blah. That doesn't tell them where the top is or what most of your clients are spending. Also, most couples will contact 25 vendors while they're searching for their team, and from that list, they will select about 13 of them. So that tells us that if you get a price quote from someone, you're on the very short list of potential vendors. So reply quickly, make sure you answer all of the questions that they've asked, and if you can't answer it, at least address it. Many couples are not happy that when a vendor does reply, they're not answering their questions, and those include the price question that nobody wants to really talk about. So let's talk about budgets. I can't tell you how many times I've heard in my career, you are over our budget. Yeah, I'm on the upper end of the scale for my local area, and I get it. So I hear it a lot. But what's the real truth about their budget? Well, this was interesting to me, and I thought I'd share it with you. 74% of couples go over their budget, while 10% come in on budget, and 16% are under the budget. So what's the surprises there? That 16% under really surprised me because it's hard to imagine that. And the 74 surprised me because it was a bigger number than I thought it would be. All right, so what about being inclusive to all? Do you service the entire wedding market, including LGBTQs? If you do, then you need to look over your emails, your paperwork, your forms, your website, all of the processes so that you can make sure that you're not sending a same-sex couple something that says bride and groom on it or anything else that they could take offense to. You want to be sensitive and look at everything you have with an open mind, and if in doubt, ask someone to give you their opinion on it. They also discussed all of the old business models that have fallen by the wayside on the side of the road because of technology. I want you to think back for a moment and try to remember some of these. Libraries have largely been replaced with Google. Maps have been replaced with smartphones. Finding a good meal is no longer asking a friend for a recommendation. Now you just go look at the reviews for the restaurant. Large music collections of CDs have largely been replaced with online streaming services, not so much for us DJs, but for the average public. Video rental stores have been largely replaced with cable TV and Netflix. Catching an Uber ride instead of a cab, and nobody gets film from a camera developed anymore. We all use digital photos. I'm going to be right back. Hi, and welcome back. Start finding new ways to use smart technology of today in your business to make things easier for you and your clients. With video chat being offered by Facebook Messenger, Skype, WhatsApp, and many others, it's getting easier and easier for you to connect face-to-face with your clients no matter how far away they might be. Today's couples expect you to be tech-savvy and current. If you've fallen behind in the lingo, devices, or capabilities, this is your wake-up call. In the old days, you just picked up the phone. I can't tell you that I have never had to work so hard in all of my life to communicate with clients as I do today, and it's not going to get any easier as technology continues to grow. The majority of couples getting married today are millennials whose average age is between 18 and 34 years old. In traditional couples, the average age of the bride is 30, and the groom is 32 years old. 80% of the couples that use wedding wire is millennials. If you are marketing to an older person, then you're missing the mark. This is who your client is. So what I'd suggest is have a 25-year-old review your wedding wire site and take any notes of what they liked and what they hated and fix it on your storefront. 80% of the time, millennials will have their smartphones on their person. So that they're around a phone and email and texting 87% of the time. So when they don't answer your email or phone call or text right away, it probably means that they're busy, since the odds are they really do have their phone with them already. 33% of them use an app of some kind to plan their wedding and keep up with what they should be doing at certain times during the planning process. That means that 66% of them are flying by the seat of their pants and will need your help and guidance in keeping them on task. 80% are planning their weddings online and using Wedding Wire's website to help them keep up with their wedding planning. Of course, this doesn't take into account other planning sites, since all of these numbers were specific to Wedding Wire. Many of these stats, though, will still work no matter what, because they're universal. For example, the millennials and their average age. So I'll be right back with some more stuff. Hi, and welcome back. You know, one of the most interesting stats that we learned while we were in Washington was that when a couple is deciding between two different vendors, they've narrowed it down and there's just two people left and they're trying to decide A or B. Which one do we go? Price helps them to decide more than any other factor. In fact, I was quite surprised to learn that 84% of the time, price is what they will use to decide whether they go with vendor A or vendor B. Of all the emails that you receive from a potential client, 60% of them will ask for pricing information on the first email that they send you. Only 35% will look at your storefront if it has pictures that caught their eye. Which brings us to, you need to use high quality photos and update those often on your storefront on Wedding Wire. The number one thing that all couples look at more than anything else on your storefront is your reviews. I have been preaching this for a couple of years now, and I can't say it loud enough. All millennials do research, and they all want to see your reviews from past clients. If you aren't getting any inquiries from Wedding Wire, it's time to review your storefront. Do you have recent reviews? Old ones won't do you any good because there's a filter, and they call it the recency filter, and it gets rid of all the old reviews. So all they see is the newest ones, and if you're not in that group, you're not going to be in the group to see and become a vendor that they would inquire about. So do you have high quality pictures? Do you have your prices listed on your storefront? Are you answering those inquiries quickly and answering every question that's asked? Have you had a 25-year-old female review your site and make any suggested changes? There are way too many DJs in the marketplace, and you will either have to step up or you're going to find yourself on the outside wondering why you never get a quote request. I hope some of my notes will help you to improve anything wrong with your storefront and also make you realize that times are changing quickly. It takes a lot of effort to keep up with today's demands on our small businesses, and it's up to you to step up your game. So that's going to be my show for today. I'll be back next week with all new topics to help you and your business. Be sure to give me your thoughts on today's show down in the comments section. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if we've taught you anything new at all. So until next Sunday, be safe and thanks for watching.